Thank you, Dean. I took the presenter role. Yes. So hello, everyone. My name is Julia. I am the product manager for the test sparring partner, or as we call it shortly, it is TSP. And today I will demonstrate for you how TSP can be the solution for all your testing needs. I would like to start with an explanation of what the test sparring partner is. So I will walk you through this slide, so bear with me. Imagine your typical working day when your bank is sending and receiving messages over Swift network. So you are Bank A, for example, on the left, and your counterparty is Bank B on the right, and you are exchanging messages, which is your live or production traffic. However, the industry doesn't stand still, and it brings changes like the one that you're dealing with now, the change of the messaging format from MT to ISO. So you need to analyze and implement this change, but you surely want to test it before you go live. Swift offers a lot of possibilities for testing. The ideal testing is the one that brings you as close as possible to what you actually do every day in live environment. So as close as possible to your live production traffic. For this kind of testing, Swift offers a safe space of test and training environment. In ideal situation, you would want to test new messages with your counterparty Bank B in the test and training environment. However, Bank B might not be ready to test with you just yet. They might have a different timeline for this project or whatever other reasons. So what do you do in this case? And this is where the test sparring partner, or TSP, comes for the rescue. It offers you a counterparty for testing. You can call it Bank TSP. So this is what you see under the Bank B, the Bank TSP. This is an actual BIC in Swift network that is ready to test with you, exchange messages with you in test and training environment anytime. Bank TSP knows the rules and scenarios of CBPR Plus, so you can really test the business flows applicable to you. And the testing happens in the Swift network with all its validation rules and so on. The messages will go through your Swift interface and even the back office if it is connected in test and training environment. So this is as close to the live production setup as possible. So Bank TSP with knowledge of the actual business flows, and possibilities to test end-to-end, so actual functional testing. But you might be wondering, how do I coordinate this testing with Bank TSP? Is there someone sitting behind it to answer our calls or emails to discuss what we want to test? And the answer to this is that you will have full control over your testing, and you can decide what you test and when via the interface of TSP. So this is what you see on the left. At the bottom, your testers will have access to the TSP GUI or TSP user interface. So to summarize, the same information, but maybe in a different illustration, just to make sure that we're clear on what it is. TSP offers you a counterparty that we can call Bank TSP with real big codes in Swift network to exchange messages with. Plus, you will have access to the user interface to coordinate the testing. As you see on this illustration, where you are on the left as Bank A, your testers will have access to the TSP user interface to define and trigger test cases and to check the status of them. And Bank TSP will follow your instructions and will send the messages to your BIC via Swift network. So the messages will arrive to your Swift interface and then maybe even to the back office if it is connected to your Swift interface in test and training environment. So this is a truly end-to-end testing. So today I will show you how to get access to this user interface of TSP and how you can start testing with it with the Bank TSP. So let's begin with the access, and I will start with the good news right away. TSP is available to everyone free of charge, so we have a free version that is available to you already today, so you can access it anytime after this call. All you need to have is your swift.com account. So this is an illustration how to get access. You need to go to edit your account and to request additional access. I know you might not be able to see this slide clearly, but we will send it to you afterwards. And the main point is that you go to swift.com, to my Swift, to edit your account, and under additional access, you will find Swift Test Sparring Partner as one of the available applications. You can request access for two kind of roles in TSP, admin or user. You can combine them depending on what you plan to, what your goal on TSP is, to be just the tester or the admin as well. And then you click save, and the request for to access TSP will be sent to your swift.com admin. So you will need to contact your swift.com admin to approve your request. As soon as the request is approved, you can log into TSP, and we have a direct link for you, or you can log in from My Swift space. Under My Tools, you will have an additional application or product called Swift Test Sparring Partner. If this is going to be the first time that you log into TSP, then please engage with your TSP admin, because this person will need to help you finalize your account in TSP. So we have plenty of resources to help you with access to TSP, like videos on Swift Smart or step-by-step guidance in the operations guide. So I will not stay on this topic any longer and move on to the actual testing. You should be able to see my screen now. So as I said, I'm on my Swift, and I want to get to log into Swift Test Sparring Partners. This is how I do it. So welcome to the TSP homepage. Right away, you see some newsfeed where we put all the latest updates, releases, and so on, and also the links to some useful resources like the user guide or the links to the Swift Smart videos. So you don't need to search for them on different applications. It's all available right away for you on the home screen. But okay, we want to test, so let's go and see the testing catalog. So this is the menu here on the top. TSP supports testing of different products and services. So you will see different testing catalogs like Swift GPI, Swift Go, case management, and so on and so forth. But the focus of the session today is CBPR Plus. So let's come here. Remember I told you that Bank TSP knows the CBPR Plus rules and scenarios. So here are all the scenarios available for you. Since there are so many of them, we group them into subcatalogs based on the business areas. So you will have customer credit transfers, financial institution transfers, rejects and returns, payment initiation, report requests, reports and statements, and so on and so forth. There are many of them. It might seem overwhelming. That's why we have a core indicator this is to let you know what Swift recommends to test first. So this is for you to focus if you're just starting the testing. For this demo, I will use the scenario for customer credit transfers. So let's go here. So this is all about the PAC 08. You see, even for PAC 08, we have so many different test cases. So let's click on the core right away just to focus on the most important ones. So you see, it's much better now. It's not that many. So what we see on the screen, we see the test case ID. We see the short description of what it includes, what's going to be tested in this test case, the message type, your role in this scenario, and you can play different roles here. The big code that is used. I'm playing with TSP now using one of my Swift big codes. The last time that the test case was executed, and the status, was it passed or failed, and so on. So this is one way to view the scenarios. I have another way how to check all the scenarios in one page. There is a link here to download the catalog details. It opens a new page where you see the same information, so ID, the description of the scenario, but also the illustration. So I'm a very visual person. I need to see the illustration of what it's going to look like. So I find it much easier to understand the test case this way. So you see right away an illustration of the test case. For example, in this one, you would play a role of a debtor agent. Your role will always be represented in this red indication, like big, trigger big. So this means that this is you playing this role. And in this scenario, you would need to send PAC08 to bank TSP that is represented with this big code. So this is a very simple scenario. And then they go more complex, like we adding one more agent, so intermediary, or we play with different debtor, ultimate creditor, or you can play a role of an intermediary where you receive a message and send it further, and so on and so forth. It's get more complex with every scenario. So for me, I find this very easy way to look through all the scenarios and see which ones are applicable for me. So please feel free to use this small life hack to check all the scenarios. But okay, let's get back to testing. So I want to show first the scenario where you would receive a message. So let's play a role of a creditor agent in this case. So I can apply a filter, and let's take the most simple scenario. So once we open a test case, we always have three tabs. Test instructions, which talks for itself. It lists all the step-by-step guidance, how to execute this test case. What is the goal, how to execute it. The same illustration that I just showed to you. So you really see what is about to happen. So in this scenario, you're a creditor agent. Remember, you're always here with a red indication. And the bank TSP will play a role of a debtor agent, so with this particular big code. So in this scenario, you will receive PAC08 from this big code from bank TSP. Then we have the conditions, what should happen for the test case to be successfully passed, and some optional features that you can read through. Then the second tab is the test case, and this tab will show you the details of the PAC08 of the payment that will take part in this testing. With the free access to TSP, you can customize the basic information like the instructed amount, currency, the settlement date, maybe the charge barrier, and so on. But we also have a premium version, which I'm using now. So you see that I can modify many more fields in this payment. So if you want a more customized testing experience, then you might be interested in the premium version, so you can contact your account manager to get more information on that. But with the free version, you have access to the very same test cases. It's just the customization of them that is different. So here I can customize my payment, and then I have the test history with the list of all attempts to execute this test case, when I did this, under which big code, the UETR of the payment that took part in this attempt, was it successful or not, and I can also download the report, but we will do it in just a second. So I want to now execute the test case. So I go to test instructions, read through them, see what's about to happen. So I see that the first step is for TSP to send a message to me. And this is something that you need to, the basic principle, the logic of how it works. If you see that the first step is for TSP to perform, then you can go to the test case right away, and you will have a run test button to trigger this test case immediately. So this is what I'm going to do now. I click run test, the screen refreshes. Now I see that the test case is ongoing. It will now change to past. This is a very simple test case, so it was executed very quickly. I can see that the test case details, like the history of what happened over here, or I can go to test history, and I will see that just now, 22nd of April, I executed this scenario with this UETR code. And what happened is that TSP actually sent PAC08 from this big code that we saw as a debtor agent to my big code as a creditor agent. And this is the full content of the spec 08 that was sent to me. So with this simple scenario, the goal was to send the message to me and to confirm that it was successfully delivered. Now you can go to your Swift interface and try to find this message. You can use the UETR for this. So you will be able to find this message in your Swift interface and maybe even in the back office if it is connected to the Swift interface. So this is as simple as this, as it. That's it. We just did the first scenario and you received PAC 08 to your Swift interface. Now let's do something a bit more complex. Let's go back, and now I want to play a role of a debtor agent. So I want to send PAC 08. Let's go to the very simple scenario with just, let's see what it is, with just like two agents, debtor agent, creditor agent. Now I play a role of a debtor agent. The first step of this scenario is for me to send PAC 08 to the creditor agent. So it's not TSP to do this step, it is me. So the first step is for me. As you see, if I go to test case, the run test button is even grayed out. There is nothing, you cannot trigger it from the screen. It is you who needs to do the first step. So you need to prepare PAC 08 and send it to this big code, to this creditor agent. If it seems a bit complex and you're not sure, okay, but how this PAC 08 should look like, you want a sample, for example, we have you covered here as well. On the test case tab, you have this link to download ready-to-use sample message. So you can select via which service you're going to send it, FinPlus, Pilot, Future, or Current. Let's say Current, I think it makes more sense now. And you can even include a technical envelope for this message to make it really ready to send via Alliance Access Lite 2 or Alliance Cloud. So let me do that. And now I click download. I will open this file and I will move this to the screen for you to see as well. And right away, I have my sample with the technical envelope. This is the technical envelope. And this is the application header, sender, receiver, PAC 08, business service identifier, and the actual payload, the business payload. And this sample is ready to be used for the scenario that we selected here. So once you send the message, TSP will receive it, and you will see the UETR in this drop-down box. I already prepared this message yesterday for the demonstration, so I have it here. So I select this message, TSP is loading it, it shows me the details. It is also verifying that the message is correct, so I don't see any errors on the screen, so it looks fine for TSP. Otherwise, you would see some red errors here saying what is wrong with the message. But okay, my message is there, it's all correct, and now I have this button Run Test. So now I want TSP to pick up this message and execute the steps based on this scenario. So the steps is for TSP to receive the message, validate it, and confirm that everything is okay. So now once I send the message, I tell TSP, okay, take this message with this UETR and do your steps with it. So now I run test and I send these instructions to TSP. TSP is doing its steps with this very simple scenario. It's basically just validating my message. And then it says, yeah, okay, the message was received. Everything is fine with it. It's good. And I have again my status report with the UETR and so on and so forth. It is as simple as that. So before I wrap up with the demo, there was one more thing that I wanted to show you. So we looked at the PAC 08, but I mentioned that we have many more sub-catalogs for different business areas. I wanted to highlight that we do have the catalog for all the camped messages, because this is the question that comes up very often now. So there is a separate catalog to test all your camped messages. It's over here. Many scenarios here. Again, if we download and look at what we have, can scroll down. So for example, there is a scenario for you to send PAC09 and then receive one of the camped messages. And within this scenario, you can even decide for yourself what kind of camped message you want to receive to really customize this experience to what you do in your everyday life. So these scenarios are a bit more complex than what I illustrated, but I hope that I was able to show you at least the basic principle how to approach the testing. I also wanted to mention that TSP offering is constantly evolving. So what we have now for CBPR Plus, quite a lot, but still we're adding more. So for example, with the standards release 2025, which introduces the hybrid address, we are working on adding a new catalog to test hybrid addresses. And we also listen to our customers, to their feedback, and we are constantly adding new scenarios in the existing catalogs and so on. So keep an eye on the news feed because we always announce the new stuff over there. And with this, I hope that I was able to make you excited to start testing with TSP right away. And as I said, it is available for you anytime right after this call. So enjoy the testing and hope you have a smooth transition to the ISO format.